The crystalline walls of the Zephyrian detention chamber hummed with lethal energy as Commander Raza stood motionless, his hands clenched into fists at his sides. Before him, two identical containment pods held the most precious things in his universe. His twin sisters, Naz and her mirror image clone, both unconscious behind shimmering force fields. The Zephyrian overlord, a towering figure of chitinous armor and glowing neural clusters, gestured with one of its forearms toward the pods. Its voice resonated like grinding metal through the chamber's speakers. "Human Commander, your species has proven troublesome. Your little rebellion has cost us 3 star systems and countless resources. But we are not without mercy." The creature's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. "We offer you a choice that will demonstrate the futility of human sentiment. Pick one sister to live. The other dies immediately." Raza's jaw tightened. 3 months ago, the Zephyrian Empire had captured Naz during a reconnaissance mission. When the rescue attempt failed, they had done something unthinkable. Using their advanced biotechnology, they had created a perfect clone of her, complete with all her memories up to the point of capture. Both versions were identical. Both believed themselves to be the real Naz. "There is no time limit," the Overlord continued, its insectoid eyes gleaming. "But until you choose, both will remain in stasis. Choose quickly and one lives. Refuse to choose and both die. This is the mercy we show to humans, the agony of impossible decisions." The Overlord's subordinates chittered among themselves, clearly expecting this psychological torture to break the human commander. They had studied human behavior extensively, knew how emotional attachments weakened their kind, but they had never studied Raza specifically. "I need to see them first," Raza said calmly, stepping toward the pods, "to verify they're unharmed." The Overlord's neural clusters pulsed brighter. "Of course. Inspect your merchandise." As Raza approached the first pod, his hand seemingly trembled as he placed it against the containment field. To the Zephyrians, it looked like brotherly anguish. In reality, he was activating a microscopic quantum transmitter embedded in his palm, a piece of human technology so advanced that even the Zephyrians' scanners couldn't detect it. The signal pulsed once, twice, then began a specific pattern that only one person in the galaxy would recognize. Inside the pod, Naz's eyes snapped open. The real Naz had been trained in the same covert operations as her brother. The clone, despite having her memories, lacked the quantum-encrypted neural implants that all resistance commanders carried. When Naz received the coded signal through her implant, she immediately understood the situation and her role in what was about to unfold. Raza moved to the second pod, repeating the gesture. The clone remained unconscious. "I've made my choice," Raza announced, turning back to the Overlord. The creature leaned forward eagerly. "Yes? I choose neither." The Overlord's mandibles spread wide in confusion. "That is not an option, human. You must—" "You see," Raza interrupted, his voice taking on the confident tone that had made him legendary among the resistance. "You made a fundamental error in your understanding of humanity. You think our emotions make us weak, but you failed to grasp that our bonds with each other are also our greatest strength." Inside her pod, Naz had been working frantically. The quantum transmitter in Raza's palm had done more than signal her. It had transmitted the complete schematics of the Zephyrian detention facility, downloaded during their 3 months of planning for this exact scenario. The containment field flickered and died. Naz rolled out of the pod as alarms began shrieking throughout the facility. The clone's pod remained sealed. She had been the distraction, the emotional bait designed to make this seem like an impossible choice, rather than a carefully orchestrated rescue mission. "You walked into our trap," Raza said as Naz landed beside him, producing 2 plasma charges from her equipment belt. "Every impossible choice has a third option if you're willing to fight for it." The Overlord roared in fury, but it was too late. The charges detonated simultaneously, not at the creature, but at specific structural points in the chamber walls that Naz had identified during her 3 months of captivity. The crystalline walls cracked and began to collapse as emergency systems engaged. In the chaos, brother and sister moved with the synchronized precision of warriors who had trained together since childhood. "The clone?" Naz asked as they fought their way toward the emergency exit. "We'll be fine," Raza replied, dropping 2 Zephyrian guards with precise shot placement. "She's still you, she'll adapt and survive. But first, we're getting her out of here too." Because that was the fourth option the Zephyrians had never considered. Humans didn't just save the people they were forced to choose between. They saved everyone they could, even if it seemed impossible. As they reached the clone's pod, Naz quickly interfaced with the control systems. "She's coming with us. Both of me?" the clone asked groggily as the pod opened. Immediately understanding the situation despite her confusion, "Both of you," Raza confirmed. "That's what humans do. We don't choose between the people we love. We find a way to save them all." The three of them fought their way to the extraction point, where a human stealth ship waited. As they lifted off from the Zephyrian station, the Overlord's final transmission crackled through their communications. "This changes nothing, humans. You have only delayed the inevitable." Raza keyed the response himself. "No, you still don't understand. Humans don't accept impossible choices. We make new possibilities, and that's why you'll never defeat us." The ship jumped to hyperspace, carrying three humans who were living proof that sometimes the only way to win an unwinnable scenario is to refuse to play by the rules. Behind them, the Zephyrian Empire began to realize they had underestimated humanity's greatest weapon: their refusal to abandon each other, no matter the cost.